I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody. So we'll go right into the approval of the Board of Minutes. We've kind of changed our agenda around so we can get this stuff took care of a little bit better. So we're gonna, Chuck, are you on?
Yep.
Okay. I'm learning here. How do I get rid of that? Okay, thank you. Anyway, do I have a motion on the Board of Minutes for January 18th?
I make a motion that we accept January 18th, 2022 minutes.
I second it.
Any public comment? Okay, since no public comment, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion been carried and passed. Okay, the correspondence.
I only have one thing.
We have something from Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest. It's just a biennial monitoring evaluation report. Other than that, we have no other correspondence. So
about the Building America Better America infrastructure funding. And we have to put in for those funding. And there's an item in there, number 10, that has to do with roads, rural surface transportation grant.
I do have a packet. I can bring it up. I was gonna read through
I think we
it.
better talk about that next week, put it on the agenda and get something going on that.
okay, yeah, I haven't seen it. Billy said she has a packet and she was gonna look through it, but we can put it on the agenda for next week, Chuck. I haven't looked at it or nothing.
Okay, because it's got a timeline on it, so.
Gonna be some grant money for dam safety issues, so yeah, there's
Okay.
a lot of money in that.
Well, let's just put it on for next week and we can look it over and make a decision, discussion decision on it. Is that okay?
Yeah,
All right.
There's some correspondence for the 915, but that can be brought up at that time.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, Blaine, on that, where we got these other emails and that. I was just gonna see if we can hold that off till we have the meeting when people are here, so we don't go through it twice and then they can.
yeah, I can't hear you. You guys speak up, and then it's really hard for me to hear anybody away from the table. So if they could talk into a microphone, it'd be good.
Okay, I'll make sure that I speak up and we'll put the mic over there. Is that better?
Well, so far, nobody said anything.
So here's the mic right here, and that's supposed to pick up over.
Okay, we're moving the mics around a little bit to try to make it better.
Okay.
We'll go right into public comment. Is there any public comment?
Elena.
Okay, now, okay, so when that blue hand comes up, that means she wants to talk.
Yep.
So, okay, go ahead, Elena. Good morning, go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning. This is Elena Gagliano. First, I want to thank Commissioner Hinkle. He's on remote and he's experienced things that we all experience. And I'm glad you brought it out, Commissioner Hinkle. I've been bringing it out for a while. But at any rate, when you say for the minutes, are there any public comments? How could we comment anything on the minutes if we don't see them? We don't get a draft of them, so we can't correct something that maybe somebody said or something that's missing. So I still think we should have the draft so we can see it and comment, make corrections. The other thing regarding correspondence. Correspondence refers to snail mail as well as email. And I don't think it should be up to one person to decide what's going to go up. That should be read and discussed during correspondence. And then you make a decision. Well, we'll put it on the agenda for next week. We'll contact Mr. Smith, so he'll be here for the discussion. That's how you handle the correspondence. Okay? Because I've been bringing that up too. So I'd like to see some changes with that. You make the decisions, not somebody else. Thank you very much.
No, thank you for your comments. Appreciate it. Any other public comment? We still have 5 minutes left of a public comment.
Did I need to comment on getting a phone call from,
Oh, yeah, you could read that.
okay, so because Paul isn't here today, the road superintendent, I got a phone call from Lauren Lucci and making complaints that the mail delivery, the person goes out there and won't deliver the mail because of the road being too narrow. And I did put a call in to Paul and I didn't get a response back from him. But Billy, you've done some research on it. Can you tell us what's going on with that?
Yes, I got some comments as well from residents on Willow Creek Road about the mail carrier not delivering on Willow Creek Road because of the road conditions. So I contacted the postmistress in Phillipsburg. She said she has been having the postmistress deliver and that there haven't been issues with the road. So I have been telling residents to contact the postmistress directly, and if there are problems with the road, to have the postmistress contact us so we know what needs to happen with the road.
And you might just give the postmistress Paul's number so he can take care, he can run out. See, I know they've been trying to widen some roads out. Maybe they haven't got there yet. I'm not sure. I guess I shouldn't say no until if Paul is, he's out on a medical thing today. So, but we'll keep tabs on it, check and see what's going on. And as soon as he gets back this afternoon, I'll mention it to Paul and he can run out there and see what's going on and talk to the mail lady and see what's going on, talk to the people out there. That's about all we can do. I know with this ice and that, it's just pretty tough to keep up with all of it. Any other public comment? Oh, Elena, I seen your hand. See, I'm getting better at this. Go ahead, Elena.
Good for you, Scott. Okay, since we're talking about the road and bridge, something else I've been bringing up, that should be a written report. If he's going to give a report every week, it should be a written report. So when he's not here, you can read it. And again, the email that's going to the commissioners, that's part of correspondence. And apparently Blanche heard something and she brought it up. But what about all the other complaints? That should be brought up also during the meeting under correspondence so that you can decide what to do. That's, you know, this is the whole point of public meetings. I'm sorry. And you're the commissioners, you decide what to do once you see it, not somebody else making a decision for you. I'll say that again, but I'm not finished with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a
Elena?
second.
That was a phone call. It wasn't an email from Lauren Lucci.
Go ahead, Elena.
Still, it should be, I got silenced again, but still it should be part of the discussion. The commissioners are supposed to bring that up and it shouldn't be brought up during public comment. There should be a time when I got a call from so-and-so. That should be all part of the correspondence or communications contacts with the commissioners. That's all public information, because other people may have the same problem. It's not one single problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, we're gonna move on. It's 9:15.
Actually, 9:13.
Yeah, 9:13. I guess we better wait 2 minutes. I just don't understand why you can't bring it up in a public comment that's brought to a phone call, so it's, I mean,
You know, it
That
was
way, at least you-
correspondence. It could have been brought up in that, but it's okay to bring that up.
yeah, I mean, it can bring it out in public comment. It's not like it can't. Correspondent on the phone call is,
Then that's
You did.
my bad because I didn't pay attention it not being, it was a phone call. So in the future, any phone calls, I'll make sure it comes up during correspondence. Thank you. Hi, Davey.
you're fine. Yes.
Hi, Phil. Hi, Linda.
My public comment, I like having the public comment first, so then if you table issues, then you can, you don't have to wait around to the end to take public comment. In every agenda item, you're taking public comment. So I'd encourage you to keep doing it this way, but it's up to you, it's up to the commission.
No, I like it this way.
Okay.
And Chuck agreed yesterday, right, Chuck?
What was that?
You
Say
agreed
again?
on, you agreed on the way we set up the agenda this week. Keep going
Yes.
this way?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. All right, it's, we're gonna go ahead. I got 9:15. Fence across Brown Gulch and or access road, discussion and decision. Before we get started on this, I want to make sure we all stay calm and let's just go through this. And now that we got more facts and stuff, we got a whole bunch of stuff. We want to just kind of, let's look this over and see what we can do and make this work.
Yeah, I'd like to start this out. Okay.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, as you stated, we didn't have all the information on January 6th. And I'd kind of like to change my vote on that. You know, those old maps are not accurate, I don't think, and they're ambiguous and it's hard to tell anything on them, to tell you the truth. And anyway, I think we have to honor the decision of the commission of 2010. I mean, that's what the commissioners are here for, to make those decisions. So right off the bat, I mean, we can argue about this thing for way more than 15 minutes. And so I'm going to start off and make a motion that we honor the 2010 commission decision that's not a county road.
Okay, is that, I guess we need a second so we can move on, or if we don't, we can just do a discussion on it.
Discussion, please.
What's that?
Discussion, please.
Yeah. Okay, we're still in, go ahead, discussion. Does anybody want to start off?
Don't use the,
Maybe start off with Blaine
Okay.
and get Linda down here.
Could you, I thought she was coming down. Go
Yeah,
ahead, Blaine. Or you want to wait till later?
so I agree with Chuck. I mean, I'm not gonna debate this, but I do agree there's strong evidence there's a county road there. The maps are clear. The old map shows that Browns Gulch Road was there and this one, which is named. So I think the issue before the commission is if you want to enforce it. If you want to continue to enforce it or not, I think is the real issue there. I do think we need to get the sheriff, get his opinion on, because he can still enforce it as you can't, you know, disorderly conduct to obstruct a county road. So I'd like to get his thoughts on it. The issue from back in 2010 is that this wasn't an ATV track. I mean, Dave Harris has talked about how he's used this road for 40 plus years. So I guess I'd like to hear from him on that issue, on the use of it. The county didn't bring this up, and Dave Harris did the research and, looks accurate to me, but I encourage you to take public comment from everyone, and maybe there's middle ground to be reached.
And if we go over our 15 minutes, we can today, because there's quite a few people here. And before you guys start, you gotta state your name and go from there. So who want to start with?
Can we have Linda's comment first?
Yeah.
Is that okay if we get Linda, the planner, down here and get her comment? Just so that we have the proper research done. And then we'll go from there. Where are you, Linda? What do you think? Should they start their comments or
It's up to you. I mean,
what do you want?
We can, while we're waiting on her, we can go ahead with it. Start
Okay.
a comment, and then we can have her step in.
Okay.
I'd like to.
Can you come up here closer, please, and then state your name, and
Yes.
mind using the mic so they can hear you.
that way everybody can hear you.
Yeah, I'm Steve Evanchu.
Oh,
I
here's
just
Linda.
have a couple of comments. Hang on for a minute. Oh, you know what?
You want to take a minute?
Glasses
Let her go?
You don't need
No,
that, do you?
I'll go and then, yeah, because then I don't have to go any farther, right? All right. Years ago, many years ago, there was a gate put up there, and it was removed, and it came before the commissioners, and there's absolutely no doubt about that. But I've always kind of wondered where the research was, and there's been some research that's come up on both sides, and I always kind of wondered where did the name Spur Road originate, and when was the name of the Browns Gulch Wagon Road changed to Spur Road? Because on the earlier plat that has been submitted, the road that runs right through the gulch is named Browns Gulch Wagon Road. And what's the process of the county to abandon a county road and adopting another? On most of the maps that I've seen, it's pretty evident that Browns Gulch road is on most of the county maps that I've seen anyway. If the road noted as Browns Gulch Wagon Road is deemed private, then what assurances are there in place that the other road is kept open to the public without restrictions? Okay.
Is that the side road you're talking
Yeah,
about?
that's the side road that's open now. And then the other thing, the last comment that I want to make is, can private landowners, improve or work on county roads? That's my comments.
Thank you, Steve.
You want me to answer a couple of those?
Yeah.
So as far as the process to abandon the county road, it's through the petition process and then public hearing. As far as working on county road, the county does have a policy now on working with people and just entering into a contract with someone who's going to do a little bit of plowing, will have snow plowing, will have insurance. So that would have to come before the county commission regarding working on county roads. I think one clarification though is the gate on actually the Browns Gulch Road? Because I think people have called both the access road and Browns Gulch Road Browns Gulch. And so is that your understanding?
Yeah, that's
Linda?
fine.
So I think there's some confusion on the names, but what I was saying is just both of these roads were wise there were shown on that old plat and name.
That kind of answers some of that for you, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay, any other comment? Come up and state your name and here you go.
Unless Linda wants to go next.
Oh, no. Just go.
I'm Thor Sicklin, and originally this was the claims that we had bought, so I wanted to go through it. I don't have the exact date, you guys. It was in 2009 we bought it. We immediately put the gates up, and at that point, everything went on. And then Paul Cousins had filed a complaint against the commissioners. And again, you know, we all came in. He brought a whole bunch of evidence. He brought the same evidence you're looking at today. We brought piles of evidence in. We brought piles of evidence. Old Forest Service maps, anything we could get, you guys, because again, we didn't want to do it wrong. And the commissioners at the time was Maureen and Susan and Cliff, and they looked it over and studied it too. And they didn't really abandon it, Blaine. It wasn't really on that. It just, they didn't recognize it, I guess, would be a better question, you know, literally. It's just not as easy as opening it back up, you guys. At that point, we sold those properties as, you know, the title company insured it. They said, no, the two county roads, but not a private road there. And anyway, I just wanted to make stress to the commission is it's just not as easy as opening that road up again, because it's going to open up a ton of lawsuits. It's going to, you know, I don't even know where to go from there. I would hope that you guys would look it over really hard and can reconsider, you know, or consider, I guess we haven't decided anything yet, you know, kind of the whole layout. It's simple general layout is what the commissioner did before. You're right. You got a Browns Gulch Road, which they later or earlier called the Tower Road. I've seen it both ways. You got the Stewart Lake Road, it splits there. And then you got a road in between. And I'm the same way. I grew up, we went through there hunting on and on, but there was also years and years you didn't go through there. Might be a big tree across the road. It might be too muddy or too much snow or whatever. But, and then with no maintenance or anything on it either, you know, I think that played into the earlier decision too. So, did you guys have any questions about how we went through it or?
No, I'm just kind of listening because this is all new, you know.
It is, and
new stuff.
I mean, you guys, I don't want to be the bad guy either. I understand, you know, what their point is, I understand everything, but we brought it to the commission. It was already decided, and then, you know, everybody went with that flow, and then 12 years later, it's brought again with a whole new bunch of people. I understand, whole new, but it's the same problem, you know, it was already solved in my book, so.
One of the things the minutes talked about is it was just an ATV track. I mean, that wouldn't be consistent with what the maps are showing, or is that incorrect? You think in the minutes? It just ATVs created the road.
Oh, no, I agree on that. Yeah, it was an old wagon trail or whatever. I have no idea where the original was. I do know a lot of times it's impassable, and there's a lot of reasons. When you're going up through there, there's been floods through there historically. There's a lot of mud in there. We always knew that. You always went around it or you get stuck possibly. But no, I don't think it ever was totally.
Another point I want to make is, and it's a side issue, but if people are trespassing in there, whether they're on a, you know, wherever they're at, sheriff's willing to cite it and I'm willing to prosecute it. So, and I realize catching the people is an issue.
It's not as hard anymore, you guys, because we just put security cameras on. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You know, and those cameras go off at Binga, and you'll know within 5 seconds if somebody's on that property. You could be in Florida. So it is a lot better. So.
Side issue, but
Okay.
I know that's, yeah.
Anyway, did you want to talk next? Or?
I'll just ask them if they want to.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just didn't know, I forgot something. Thank you, guys.
Okay, does somebody else have public comment? Or not public, or on this?
Actually, I do. Could I use some chairs to spread my things out so we can be faster and more?
Here you go.
I'll get the mic. I'll get the mic. 1 second, Mr. Hinkle.
Thank you, Zoe.
Well, thank you, guys.
Good morning, Mr. Hinkle, who's not here. This is Cheryl Locke, L-O-C-K-E. I live at 128 Stewart Lake Road here in Granite County on property we bought and purchased from the previous witness, Thor, in the year 2011. The history is in 2010, as Thor says, as your county commission records say, on July 13th, 2010 county commission meeting. At that time, Thor owned property, and he owned it in couple with Jack Owens.
who is the owner, I think you guys know him as Stewart Title here in this county as well as Missoula. Jack and Thor owned this huge tract of land. They had it, he said he bought it a year before, circa 2009. Immediately when he bought it, according to Thor, he put up gates on either end of what was termed, and let me give to the county right now, everybody, the actual map. All right, I'll give you one for each of you. Here you go, Lance. Do you need one, Blaine?
No, well,
Well, yeah. Mr. Hinkle, right now, what I provided your colleagues with was the plat map that yesterday I went right here to the county courthouse and I asked for with Thor. And we didn't give a name. I just asked for a map for Browns Gulch Road. She pulled up, started pulling at various properties. This one came up. And this is the legal description of the tracts. And the clerk, I paid for them legal copies. I don't have that. They're the legal description of the tracts. And the tracts here, and right now, I don't even know if any of these people have actually been on the roads in question. I don't think I put money, Mr. Bradshaw hasn't. I don't think you've been up there behind our backyard, Lynch. I don't know if you have. If anyone's been, the reason I ask is historically, when establishing county roads, when establishing rights to county roads, historically, what's always required is an on-site viewing. Dating back to 1896, one of the requirements for naming, fixing, establishing, if you will, I can't get the word sometimes, a county road is, one of the provisions is there has to be an on-site viewing by anyone in the process who's going to be involved in it. That's why. Why is that? Well, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. And I can give you, we're talking about how it's developed, whether it's a wagon trail, whatever. First of all, I'd like notice being taken of the legal tract right now. And the legal tract as it stands depicts the words private road. I can't, my glasses aren't on right now.
Can I, but in this case, this is somebody that's calling in.
Yes, sure, Scotty.
Is that,
yeah, it's
sorry.
up to you to take it.
Would you ask that? If it's,
We're
I'm
pausing.
sorry,
County Commissioner's Office.
sometimes they can't.
Good morning, this is Brandon Parrott. How you doing?
Oh, hey, could you call back in a little while? We're in the middle of this other agenda item.
Or maybe you can call him when it's.
Yeah, we'll call you when we're done here.
Okay.
Thanks,
sounds good.
Brandon. Bye.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm not here to question you guys, but one of the requirements was a public viewing, because you know what, sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words. We could talk all you want about, I don't know, someone's daughter or grandchild, but a picture of them presents a greater story. I can show you a picture of that road right up until, and has anyone actually been to that road on this commission who's making the decision today? Blanche says no. I think Mr. Bradshaw, I
I've
guarantee.
been on it, but it's been years.
How would you know if I've been up there?
I'm asking for the right, I'm asking if you've been on it.
I haven't, I disagree to be on the onsite, and I think the commission should go up there. But that's for the petition process this wasn't a petition county road. So yeah.
Like, can I touch on that? But the
Yeah.
last commission did go up there and check it out. I just wanted to tell you,
Yeah.
they all
Yeah.
did do it for it. So just.
Oh,
No, I-
Mr.
I-
Hinkle, is he, if, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
visit up there would, I don't disagree with that.
We, I've been through it, but it's been years ago.
What do you want?
So.
Her to be able to show her.
I just,
Picture.
is the mic creating a record for the county, or is the mic just having Mr. Hinkle be present?
Yep, I'm doing minutes.
Okay, good. So was Thor heard right now? Okay, perfect. Okay, so,
Easy.
Okay.
relax.
all right, thank you.
Yes, we're gonna get through this.
Okay.
All right.
So what's the, where the heck did we leave off, Blanche?
Yes.
If you want to show that picture, if you want to hand it to Blanche,
Thank
you
you,
can
Kelly.
put it in front of.
Okay,
the camera,
there.
'cause she's doing a video.
That's a picture of the road.
Where's my camera?
Yeah, people can see it.
Oh, okay, okay, I see it. Hmm.
First of all, thank you. That's a picture of the road. That's the road in good days. This is a picture of the road where actually a two-wheel drive vehicle can drive down. Let me tell you, this picture of the road is not the road another 10 and a half months out of the year. I can tell you another picture of the road, which would be Mr. Adler. When the snow melt comes, there's probably a reason they took over the other county roads instead of that one, because the road is completely flooded.
Okay,
and completely impassable. We would come home at the end of the day to the sound of, it sounds a deluge of water behind our house. And just so you can get a picture, our property is right now abutted by Stewart Lake Road. It's showing on the plat right here. Stewart Lake Road, which is an established county road, and Brown's Gulch Road.
Yeah.
Okay. And so our house is right in the middle. The access road in question that was determined in 2010 to actually be private property is our backyard. And that access road is exactly the property line between our property and Jim and Carol's property. Showing up, the best way to see it is on this one right here. I even put our houses on there. And so we come home when there's runoff, and it sounds like the world is ending, because we can hear, if you've never heard it behind your house, it's kind of a scary noise, because it's not just stagnant water. It's water that's rushing and roaring down the hill behind our house and completely engulfing and flooding this access road in question. My dog has a fun time jumping it over, and in the picture you'll see my dog there with rain boots on, but there's no way even an AT vehicle can get by. And then in the winter, like right now, this road is impassable in the winter as a hiking road that I take to Carp Lake. You can't get there. Even if Jim and Carol live there, we can't. We live there. We live right on it, and nobody there. Jim and Carol do not use that road in the winter. Nobody can use that road in the winter, save for on a snowmobile. When I snowshoe, when I cross country ski on that road, but you physically can't even drive. I can't even drive a chained up AT vehicle on that road. So the only time the road actually looks like the first picture I gave you with the pretty grass and the two little ruts is maybe 2 months out of the year. Second, I have another picture I'd like to share with the board and with the public. Mr. Bradshaw, you indicated that the county would be happy to prosecute, and you would yourself prosecute people caught trespassing, committing crimes on the property around the road and on the road. There's an old maxim, besides like the creation of easements and thou shalt not kill, there's an old maxim in common law that says one cannot come to a court seeking equity, as Mr. Harris is doing, seeking a result to make him happy because he's a good guy, if they have not been a good guy. Okay?
We're not gonna get into a big old fight here.
I don't want to get in a fight, but I want to show you a picture of the original complainant trespassing on my road the day he tore down the barriers, the day he tore down our private property, the day he trespassed on our road. And no, I'm not here to convict. I'm not here to judge. But before the county and the board and the county attorney actually listen to and follow the request of someone, make sure it's not someone who's tearing down other people's property. On that particular day, and I may be upset, but this is my backyard. This is my gate. This is my fence. This is my land. This is my money and my dollars that has improved that land. The land that is unquestionably mine, the land on the side, my everything. And so, and it's so easy. If Lane, I invite you to dinner, I invite you to my house, come up to my backyard, lay in the hammock on the side, anyone here, and look, and you can see right from my backyard, you can see exactly that line and the property line, and you can see what everybody's doing on there. And you can see snowmobile tracks from somebody who has gone through barricades, trespassed, and driven on the sides of that road. So not only do they want to go down the road, but people going down that road want to access my land that my baby lives on, that I live on, that Jim and Carol live on either side. According to Jim and Carol's letters, they filed criminal reports. And the sheriff that spoke right now, he's retired sheriff. The reports have been filed with the current sheriff, who is not here today, who's not talking about it. That current sheriff knows about these acts of vandalism. They know about my husband's and my concerns. They know about Jim and Carol's concerns. And they will learn about, and they will know about the evidence that I have and we are getting on game cameras that show people trespassing, not just on the road, but on our property. The common law doctrine of clean hands. Okay, I don't know if you guys have heard it. To seek equity, one must come to a body with clean hands. If you're seeking someone to treat you fairly, you must treat others fairly. Clean hands means you shouldn't be violating the law to get there. Okay? I can tell you, these hands white as snow. We've done everything legally. We've done everything cleanly. We've done everything kindly. When we moved here, I've been a volunteer at the county school. My daughter is on the DUI task force here. My husband was the very first volunteer on the law enforcement museum in town. He works full-time grooming in the ski hill. We're not just these people who came here, but a house in the hill and are contributing to this community. And Mr. Harris is signed because he doesn't care, but we contribute. I volunteer. I do everything, and I've done everything. And I don't wonder about the law. I know the law. Okay, that's another thing. I know the law. I graduated from college. I attended law school. I practiced law. I'm a constitutional law attorney. I was a prosecutor, trial attorney for years before we retired and moved here. So I don't wonder about the law. You shouldn't wonder about the law. The law is as it is. And the law in this state of Montana, if I stand here, am I okay from here? The law actually defines a county road. If I may just read this for the record, in Title 7, Section 7, 14-2101, subsection 2, B as in boy, I of Montana Code Annotated, the law defines a county road. And the law defines a county road as a road that is petitioned by freeholders, approved by resolution, and opened by a board of county commissioners in accordance with applicable laws. So, opened by a board of county commissioners. That's an important thing to note, because if you go back before Mr. Harris was even born, there's zero record in this county board at the clerk house of anyone ever opening this as a public road. And you can say, oh, it's so many years ago, that just can't be done. Not true. Not true at all. I spent the past 36 hours researching and pulling up Montana case law, Montana Supreme Court law. And even back in the 1800s, it's possible, and there are records to establish what was done to establish county roads. So what can establish a county road? So I would tell you right here that this road has never been petitioned by freeholders. If this road was petitioned by freeholders, it would be here, the record. That must be approved. Is that none of this has happened. So all of this to say what a county road is a county road has not happened. So it has not been created statutorily. That's how you can say right now. We can say without a doubt, unless there's some prize evidence and testimony right now, that this road was created statutorily.
Can I add in?
Yeah, we need to
Sorry,
kind of,
sorry.
we're getting your point here. I guess we got just a certain amount of time, so we want to let everybody have a few
Sorry,
minutes.
I actually have a point about that part. So we do have a petition in the back. In our records, as most of you know, we have like a little sheet that we got from the Forest Service that says this road research they did and kind of lays out some of our petitions. So they have in here, sorry, I got to put my own glasses. It says that Phillipsburg to Browns Gulch. That's all it says in the record there. So I went and looked in the commission records, and it's one of those where they're like, well, we're going to have a special meeting on it on the 27th, and then there's no meeting on the 27th, so we're not sure what happened there as far as the commission record goes. There is a petition in here for Browns Gulch, and it talks about the road, and it's kind of interesting. Actually, what you guys said was interesting. And then it notes in here that they were going to be going through the mining claims of the Hope Mining Company and this guy with a mill named James Patton or something like that. I'd have to find it in here again. The Hope Mining Claim Patents and Mining Company claims and James Patton. And that's what the petition says, just that they're going to go through their mining claims. And I actually kind of think it probably was on that tungsten road to begin with. But when they went back, the Hope Mining claim actually said, we don't want you to follow this route. We want you to reroute it a little bit because we have a snow shed problem.
A what problem?
A snow shed problem?
Oh, right.
That's all they call it. They say There's just a snow shed problem, the grade's steep, and there's a snow shed problem. So we would like you to reroute a little bit of it. It doesn't say where it's rerouting, but I think it kind of maybe gives evidence as to why there's 2 legs of Browns Gulch listed. I don't know. I just looked at it this morning. I just found it this morning. And this part that talks about the Hope Mining claim asking for it to be rerouted, I've never looked at because it's called Hope Mining Road, which we've never called it Hope Mining Road. So, but the 2 people in this part of the letter saying, please reroute it, they do call it Browns Gulch or note that it's up Browns Gulch. And they do name the same 2 people, Hope Mining Claims and James Patton Mills or whatever. But I think that's kind of, I just thought that was interesting as to why there might be 2 legs of it.
That does give some history on it. All I'd say though is that Powell County case, Rockingham MS Angus Ranch, talks about that statute that says if it was a public road during that time frame, then it became a county road. So whether they petition or not, in fact, in that MS Angus Ranch case, they were gonna petition and didn't follow through with it. The same thing with the Upper Bear Gulch Road, they didn't follow through with the petition. It's still a county road.
Yeah.
So I think there's a distinction between saying it's a county road versus saying you're going to enforce it as a county road, and that there's a distinction there.
It says in here that they're in the road review, and of course I can't read. I'd have to take a long time to read this because their writing is so flowery and it takes me a while to read it. But I can get the gist that they said there's a snow shed problem, that it packs in with snow, and that they can't access it as good as this other way, and that they asked for a reroute on it. And it's unclear to me whether they actually they clearly rerouted it, but whether the Hope Mining Claim Company gave the okay to go through that. They clearly are saying, no, we aren't going to give credence to going through the snow shed. But this is something that Blaine needs to look at.
Yeah, I'd say we take the public comment. I mean, you guys.
That's why I was just gonna ask,
get more
if we
time.
got some hands being raised, and we go ahead and take some more public comment. We can put this on again next week. Oops, sorry, I called on Steve first. Go ahead.
Okay.
Steve, come on up.
Just
Come up, Steve. Yeah,
my
Steve,
final thought.
you gotta come up here. Sorry, they can't hear you on this.
My final thought on this whole thing is, all right, how's the road that's currently not gated been established as a county road? And the reason why I ask is I, as a citizen, just want assurances that the public will have access through Browns Gulch. And if it hasn't been established as a county road, it needs to be established as a county road.
But again, we're talking about Browns Gulch Road and then the access road.
Right,
Browns Gulch Road itself, is established. The other would be established not by petition, but by statute. But whether they're going to enforce it or not, it's the issue, that access road.
Okay.
That's all.
All right, next one. What's that?
Do
got
quick
kind of-
comment.
We're gonna have to make this little, because we're running
I just
over.
want to make sure everybody understands. Oh yeah, Thor Ciclin again. If you can hear me, Chuck, I just want to make sure everybody understands this is 500 yards. It's not like we're talking miles and miles. So when you come down Browns Gulch and you hit this intersection, it's closer to go to the regular county road. It's 400 yards to go to the county road. It's 500 yards to go through this shortcut. Same with the other way. So we're talking just a small spur here, but both those other county roads are totally established, all the way to Stewart Lake and all the way up Browns Gulch. This little spur, like I said, we brought all the evidence before in 2010, and they studied it, I don't know how long, and that's it. Steve was here, so.
All right, well, thank you
Okay,
for your
thank you.
comment. Go ahead, Carol. Sorry, I got looking here, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I am Carol Baquet, and my husband Jim is on also. We are the other landowners besides Cheryl and Ron. And we've sent in email and some information that I would like read in, or at least to review right now. Also, I would like you to review, which would answer, Steve, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your last name, but it would answer your question about how this is closed or open. And it's from a Mr. Matt Pearson. He's also employed by the county. If you could read that in and show it to him so he can review it, please. And then I'll hold my comments until after you've read that. So if you'll read my email and my correspondence into the records, please. Jim, to get on, hold down the picture and it'll let you raise your hand.
This isn't online, is it?
It is online.
Okay.
It is on.
All of the information is
Okay.
posted online from both.
And we did stamp it in. It's stamped and put in.
Okay.
Carol read it herself, Carol. If she, I think she's a property owner here maybe, and she just wants to be heard, and that letter was her being heard. So just like I got to hear, and Steve, it's not even a property
And we
owner.
did read this, and
We
it
did.
was entered into,
We
Today?
read it.
yeah.
Yeah.
today.
Okay.
Like,
We've had it. Or
No,
got
you read it out loud on the record?
Oh, no.
That's what she wants. She wants to
Oh,
talk.
you want me to
She
read
wants
it?
to talk.
We're running out of time.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say is, how much, you just want to read all of it or just your first page?
Well, sir, I think my email wasn't that long. It's maybe 4 or 5 paragraphs. And then Mr. Pearson's also, so that you can see. Now, he's a county employee and he explains the roads and everything else. And that clarifies a whole lot. I think that needs to be read, please.
just to restate, he is not a county employee. He's contracted. He does 911 addressing, just so that you know.
Okay, well, so you have contracted him, correct? To do your 911s? Okay,
Couple
Thank you.
minutes. We'll take a couple minutes and Linda said she'd read it.
I'll read it into the record.
Okay.
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, so this is a email from Jim. I'm not gonna get your name right.
Baquet.
Sorry. So public input via email 1/25/2022.
Did I lose you? It's gone mute.
Emphysema and is an above the knee amputee. The inability to reach medical care in the case of emergency was unacceptable, so we started making plans to fix our access road correctly. In an effort to ensure we rightfully modify our road and protect our investment, after we made the repairs, we went to the courthouse and got the latest survey.
It wasn't after we made the repairs. We
can't-
contacted and talked to you before that. I don't believe I said it.
She's just reading your
That's your letter.
She's just reading your letter, so let her finish it, please.
I'm sorry.
County Survey 833, which labeled our road as a private access road. We then searched the county records to see if there were any pertinent meeting minutes concerning our road and located minutes from the 13th of July 2010, which stated the issue had been taken before the board and our access was determined to be private. We met with the county planning director in her office and told her our plans to repair our private access road, and control access to prevent future damage. Linda Bach was very helpful and said she didn't see any issues with our plans, but recommended we obtain permission from our neighbors who also have access rights to the road. That is true. I did talk to you guys. She also told us she was currently not aware of any other parties who had easements across our road. We spoke with Ron and Cheryl Locke, owners of the property to our east, and obtained said permission to repair our road and control traffic. When we purchased the property, there were gates and private road signs installed at each end of our access road, the same place where we restricted access. That was one of the selling points of the property and entered into our decision to move to Montana. We feel we made an honest effort to research the background of our access road prior to making a significant investment for the safety of ourselves and our family. We then contracted with Hillshire Construction and F&R LLC to upgrade and repair our road and paid $19,700 for their services. We erected a Jack Lake fence panel across the access road on the south end of our property boundary and installed large posts on either side of the access road near our north property boundary for future use. We placed signs on the Jack Lake fence and posts that stated our road was private and protect our investment. There was no through access. We put our name and phone number on the sign with directions to get around the blockage and said to call us if there were any questions. The signs were repeatedly torn down and stolen. We replaced them each time. No one ever called us or left a message that they had a concern. We called Sheriff Dunkerson and told him we were restricting access to our road in case anyone contacted him with concern, he would have some idea of what was going on and who they could contact. The following Saturday afternoon, October 11th, a dirt bike and 2 ATVs entered our newly repaired road from the north end and proceeded to damage our road as much as possible by spinning donuts and riding the road by holding down the front brake and spinning their back tires along the entire length of our road. We took pictures of the damage and filed a complaint with the sheriff's office. We installed a chain across the road on the same day to attempt to avoid further damage. An estimate to repair the damage was given at $2,100. Our property was vandalized again on December 4th at 1:05 a.m. A vehicle attached a chain to our fence posts and ripped them out of the ground. Another complaint was filed with the sheriff's office. Photos from a security camera were obtained but could not identify the criminals. We were surprised to see the minutes of January 4th, 2022 meeting where it was decided to serve as papers by putting them on our Jack Lake fence. We made special efforts to contact everyone who might be involved and left numerous signs of contact information. We were also surprised that the former sheriff attending the meeting in July 2010 and was informed by the commissioners the access road was considered private, see July 13, 2010 minutes, and made no objection, now wants to be on the record saying this is a county road, see minutes from January 4th, 2022. Requiring the road to be reopened in the middle of winter during a pandemic surge when it is impassable does not seem to be in the spirit of reconciliation. The simple facts that our signs were torn down and our property was vandalized shows they have no respect for our private property or the rule of law. The only apparent reason to use our private access road is they do not want to use the existing county roads, Browns Gulch and Stewart Lake Road intersection. The direct route to Phillipsburg does not require entry to our private access road. The private access road does not provide access to any recreational land or trails and blocks no public property. Please review the attached documents we obtained from the Phillipsburg Courthouse, and they have attached current survey 833, which shows the locks and Baquette's private access road location in respect to the Browns Gulch and Stewart's Lake Road County Roads intersection. July 13, 2010 Granite County Commissioner meeting notes that state the locks and Baquette's private access is private. We feel we accurately followed the guidelines in researching rules, regulations before investing in the improvements to our private property. And it's signed Jim and Carol.
Okay. Well, thank you, Linda. We had one more.
Thank you.
Thank you. I missed you back there. I didn't see. Would you come up and state your name and that, please? Then we're gonna have to move on. We're overrunning.
Are you still going? I haven't finished. They didn't let me, I just have a couple more things to say.
I haven't heard from you. Go ahead.
Go first, Linda, go.
All right, well anyways, I'm not a lawyer. I didn't graduate from college, but I have lived here for 40 years. My family's been here for the past 5 generations. Always used that road to go through. Even in the winter, when we get in the Christmas tree, and the winters maybe were a little different, not so wet in that day, I don't know, but I have been through the road.
Are you talking, can I clarify, Browns Gulch Road or the access road?
Both roads.
Both roads, okay.
Actually. And I'd like it to be left open. I think I worry about access, you know, for people going in and out. I think it really sets a horrible precedent for the county to start closing roads, because there's progress, of course, with homeowners, but those roads that have been traveled for so many years. I don't see how they can just be handed over to a new private owner that way. But anyways, that's my opinion. And also, I just wanted everyone to know on the record that as far as I'm concerned and my family, Davey Harris is one of the best people I've ever met, and he's done a lot for my family, and I'm totally in favor of him, you know, for the road to be left open so he can do his business. So, and that's it.
Thank you for your comment. Thank you.
Can I just say
We're
one
gonna
more
have to move on here, because I mean, I let it kind of really overrun.
May I please just address a
And
couple sentences?
Well, I'm
Scotty?
talking.
I'm sorry, Scott.
Relaxing. But I'm just, we can table this again, because there probably won't, there's still other stuff coming in.
For next.
For next week.
Can I just, can I request?
Relax a sec, let me finish. I'm trying to get through this. I'm just saying that, you know, I've let it overrun and we need to move on because we have other stuff that, but if just be really quick, please.
Oh, really quick. If you table it, I would actually County first move to vacate the order that was entered on January 4th, because the longer and more in-depth hearing happened on July 13th, 2010. So what happened on January 4th, the landowners were not provided notice, versus what happened on July 13th, 2010, everyone was there. Everyone was there. Everyone was there.
Okay.
So right now, as it stands, you're like, what difference does it make if it's a public road if we don't enforce it? The difference it makes is my house, my land, people going there, interfering with it. It makes my property values plummet, because the way you said it on January 4th, my property value, my house is at 1,360 now, surrounded by public roads. And what's the big deal? I think it's a huge big deal, because we would never have bought that land if we were surrounded by free roads. So right now, if I die tomorrow, I die with my house surrounded by 3 public roads. So I would request that this commission please move to vacate your order that you entered on January 4th. Table it. Absolutely table it. But first you must do that, because you are causing homeowners who live there undue stress, hardship. You're legally hurting our property and our land, decreasing our property value, all for the sake of someone who 50 years ago used to get treats there. Okay. One more thing I want to say, Scotty, one more thing. Every inch along that access road, which is not a county road, every inch on either side is a private property. There's no forest behind it. The only thing there is completely my property, completely the buckets. So there's no need for anyone to get off that road and get a treat, and there's no need for anyone to even go there, because the shorter route is the county roads that are there.
Okay, I got one quick question to ask, Frank. So like on this today, where we want to move ahead and table it, or do we want to make a decision today?
Oh, I would encourage you to table it and have more public comment,
That's
actually
what
more research. One of the issues I wanted to bring up is I had emailed Jim and Carol, but they maybe didn't get my email, so I was giving them notice there. I can provide you with the email. So
We never got any notice, Blaine.
What?
The notice we got, I'd like to show you, is this right here, threatening to tear down a property on our road. So that's why we're so upset, because if you came home today at the end of work and you saw at the foot of your private driveway, Blaine, an order saying we're going to tear down your driveway because you own it.
This is not personal. It's not personal.
It's private. You're right.
Hey,
It's private.
hey,
So-
we're not gonna get into this.
So
Don't throw this at
I'm
me,
sorry,
please.
Scott.
I'm not,
Well, they threw it at me when they attached it to my fence when I was.
I'm not getting into this, okay? Let's stop,
The,
okay? We're gonna
this was
work
on
through
the
this.
It's not
agenda
right. It's not
several
legal. It's
times.
not fair.
That's enough. We're gonna work
Yeah,
through this.
stop right now. It's gonna call the sheriff. The issue with, the commission can vacate, it was on the agenda a couple times there. Can vacate that order. It wasn't posted till the 19th, but vacating that order will give time to, have to look through. My advice here is if you're gonna not basically enforce it as a county road, I think you need to abandon it, county road, and go through the petition process. Then it keeps coming up and up and up. And then go through that process. I'm not saying to abandon, I'm saying at least go through the process.
Okay.
So, but
Can we get Linda's opinion real quick?
I also want to say that I don't think Dave Harris is a trespasser, and that there's a prescriptive right on that if
Yeah.
not. So if the county doesn't have that as a county road, there's still going to be litigation over that road. So,
Okay, so we're gonna move on.
Can I just get one opinion from Linda? The final
I
comment?
agree with Blaine that if, you know, we need to look into it a little more, but I do wonder if like, because wasn't there a time frame in that letter that you might have to?
Well, yeah, it wasn't posted till the 19th, but yeah, I would encourage you to vacate.
Yeah,
To
let's
post
just
that,
yeah.
at least
read.
block
Okay.
that.
Temporarily vacate it, and then you can decide.
Okay.
So how would
So-
we would make a motion to vacate our decision that was posted on the encroachment fence?
Because due to the fact that now we have
Due
new
to-
evidence.
Yeah, due to the facts that we have to do more research on
Yeah.
it and determine what needs to be done if it's not a county road.
Okay. Do I have a second? I'll second it.
Okay.
State the motion again.
I make a motion that the posted encroachment that we placed on for the encroachment fence be vacated until we do more research on whether it is a county, private, or prescriptive property.
So you're saying to take the posters down?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay.
Well, everyone that's involved here is aware of it. I think having him go out there and get stuck, I don't know that needs to happen. Everyone will be on notice now, all the property owners.
Are you gonna be up there?
Every day, I use this
You want
road
her
more
to
than
take
anyone
them
who ever
down?
testified. Every day, I walk that road when
You
I
want her to
cross
just take
country
them down
ski
for
and then
now
hike
until
every
we-
day of the summer
We'll
and every
table
day
this
in the winter.
next
I
week,
use that
then.
road more than anyone has ever used it.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll just go ahead and take them down for now, because you're right there. And then we're gonna table this for next week, because we have to move on. I
Do
mean,
we
we're
do
just-
all in favor?
all in favor? Whoops.
Aye.
Aye. Chuck?
All right.
Okay, so the motion been carried and passed, and we're gonna table this for next week and put it on for a little longer time, so we're not trying to hurry, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but we have to move on.
Yeah.
Okay, and I thank everybody for coming in and all the public comment. Oh, Carol, I'm sorry, we're gonna move on and it's be tabled for next week.
There'll be more public comments.
There'll be more public comment, okay?
Okay.
We're moving on, that's why we was next week you can.
I just want to say that I don't have any safety animosity to anyone involved. My only issue here is I think that public road is kept. I don't have a beef with anyone.
Okay,
Stay off my property, sir.
well, thank you.
And not talk to you.
All right, so stop talking to him
You
right
just
now.
talk to me.
I know, stop talking. I'm telling you to stop talking to him right now.
Okay, we're gonna table this for next week, Billy.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Thank you, everybody. All right, we're behind here. We're gonna jump right into we gotta call Brandon Parrott back, Damton, Georgetown Lake Outflow Review and Decision.
So what are we at?
I need to write his phone.
Can I ask you, hey, before when you go out there, don't talk to them, okay? Don't talk to them when you go by.
Okay, he talked to me.
I know.
Like, you didn't
We
see,
just
he
want-
talked to
I
me.
know,
He was actually making a public comment. to
I
the
had
And he
whole
looked
thing.
at me.
I can't.
I know, but it was escalated. That's
It
why
was
I said
actually
it.
We're
It's
gonna
not,
work
it's
this,
not.
we're gonna go through this, okay? Fact, we're gonna work through this, but we can't get all upset.
It's not just staying on the road, he's climbing, I watch him, he goes on my land. And
Okay,
it's not
and
just,
you turned it in, so that's the.
so
sheriff's
Blaine,
opinion.
that's, so,
I'm not gonna prosecute it.
And you're not gonna
No,
prosecute it?
not. It's a public road.
You're not
and
gonna prosecute
blocking
his,
it.
he-
Yeah,
he-
you can.
We're moving
Okay,
on, we're
we're
on.
moving
he's
on.
instigating things, you're not gonna prosecute people coming up on my backyard,
If they're going under your
past
backyard.
30 feet, I've seen you
Yeah.
go past
Yeah, I
30
will
feet.
do that, but not going up that
Okay.
road.
Well, that's what, that probably was not made clear,
But you
he's
didn't
not,
turn it in yet. I haven't seen it.
because I thought the
We're done.
county could be
Hey.
bargaining.
We're done.
Got it.
We're done. We're done. Okay. Yeah, you're all right. Hey, it's okay. We're all right. So we're moved on here, the Georgetown Lake Outflow and Review.
Do you have his number?
Yeah.
So where are we at, Scott?
Just a second, I'm trying to find the, it's 533-5895. Just a second, Chuck. I got papers everywhere.
5895?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're at
She gave me a
64.
bill.
Huh?
I'm hearing some yelling.
They better not be, because then the sheriff needs to come take care of
Hello.
it. Hey,
Hi.
Whoops,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Sorry, Glenn.
We both said hi.
Brandon, this is the commissioners, and we're on it now. We got sidetracked there. We had meeting went well. Anyway, we're at 64.
No worries.
6427.97, 18.36 inches.
Okay, yep. All right.
Have any comment, Chuck?
No, it's slowly going up. Guess we have to stay the same, huh?
Yeah, we can't change it. I think we need to leave it as is, and got a little moisture last night. We'll just have to, hopefully Mother Nature works with us. There ain't much we can do. I mean, we
No.
just keep
So I'll make a motion to stay at 6 CFS.
I'll second.
Any public comment?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Carol Paquette has her hand up.
Carol,
Can only be about the water.
this is all just about Georgetown Lake is all.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Do I need to call back in next week? And
Yes.
what time? How do I find out the time, sir?
I will post it and I can also email you if you would like, Carol. I can email you and Jim. I haven't made that agenda yet. I'll probably make it on Wednesday. People have till the end of the day on Wednesday to add to it, so.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, so on that motion, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion been carried and passed, to leave as is. Thanks, Chuck. Thanks, Blanche. So we'll go right into the resolution 2022-4, resolution amending county resolution 22-2 and setting mileage, lodging, per diem rates for business travel for 2022. First reading.
Okay, just for clarification, the reason that it's being amended is that we've got the correct mileage rate in the resolution is the only reason for amendment.
Yeah, we should just reference the statute and
Yeah.
they update it every.
Yeah.
Every.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we don't have to do
3 hours.
this, okay.
Well, that sounds good. And then, so is that all that we have on that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And we'll jump right to Headwaters Rcd update.
That's me.
Yay, come sit.
I went to the Headwaters meeting on Thursday. So a couple just quick things. It was my first meeting, so I'll get a little more in depth when I go to more. Home buyers education board report, and I put these up online. Headwaters is still helping with home buyer education classes. There's the Montana Emergency Rental Assistance Program that they're helping with, where renters are eligible to receive up to $2,200 for past due and future rent payments, and up to $300 for past due and future utilities payments. And this can be backdated back to April of 2020. They're also offering homebuyer classes online, as well as for those who can't take them virtually, they have the eHome course, which is like an electronic textbook, and framework, which is like a actual book. Through the Food and Egg program, they were able to help Farmer Boy Eggs in Drummond through the Value Added Producer Working Capital Grant. Another thing that they're helping with in Granite County is through the Food and Egg program, which was the Big Sky Trust Fund Job Creation and Planning Grant, which is the one that the county sponsored through Pintler Medical, which they've created one job. I think the grant was to create 2 jobs, so they've already created one. There was one other really cool thing I wanted to tell you guys about. where was it? Oh, this was my big packet. There was a group that provided, where is it? Some funds. There was like a group of people who donated money. Here it is, the Montana Community Foundation grants. This was through donations, and the money was given to 4 counties, and we're one of them. And Headwaters is administering the money. And the 4 counties that are getting the money is Jefferson, Granite, Powell, and Beaverhead, and it's $6,000 for each county. And so I'm gonna touch base with Headwaters and find out a little bit more about it, because Jefferson County is using it to expand their childcare services, and I know that's a really big deal across Granite County, especially during like months when school is out. But yeah, that's kind of like the base of it that I got out of the first meeting on things that are touching Granite County.
Thank you very much for your report. Good job, Billy.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, good job. Any comments on that? Elena, just on Headwaters, okay?
Thank you. This is Elena Gagliano for the record. And just to confirm, was that Billy that gave that presentation?
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't hear that she announced herself.
She did.
So that was
She was on,
her.
she was on video.
Yeah, see, now that's interesting because the camera should have also been on everybody else that came up to testify for all the other meetings, so we could have seen who was there. So that's just a point. Okay, thank you very much.
Interrupting now.
Well, the commission had, you guys voted on that, so you'd have to revote on that.
Okay, what I did, and Billy didn't mind, was a courtesy and turn the screen on her. And if you feel that I better not do that anymore because we voted against having video, I'm the only one that voluntarily puts my face on the video. So
It was her choice. She didn't care. I mean, big deal. I mean,
Yeah, I'd
everybody
say
has a choice.
2 commissioners or the chair decide, and there's, you guys are in agreement on that, and it's fine.
So was that okay with me, Billy, turning the screen on you?
Yeah, that's
I just
fine.
thought it was,
Thank you.
you're so cute that,
You know, it's just, yes, it's fine. Good job, Blanche.
Elena has another comment.
Just on Headwaters update, Elena, we're not getting into all this other stuff. Go ahead, thank you.
I'm going to say it again. This is a public meeting and it should be shown and nobody's faces should be hidden. If I have to file a complaint,
We're not getting in this. We're talking about Headwaters. Please, Elena, stay on the subject.
Do you want to, we're a little behind, but we're back on track. Do you want to go into Valley Fire?
Yes.
So on Valley Fire,
We're on to Valley Fire District Board member appointments, discussion and decision, please.
so it's how this worked is with Valley Fire District, it's 5-member board. And Granite County appoints 3 members, Powell County appoints 2. And is what had happened was 2 members' terms were over and they were appointed by Powell County at the end of October. And I had talked to their secretary and she was like, well, their board met and they just reappointed those 2 members. And I was like, oh, well, Powell County appoints those 2. And then in talking to Blaine, Powell County just wants you guys to appoint those 2 members if you would
Who
mind.
are they? Is that fine, Blaine? Then we can.
Yeah, they're deferring to you, and that's acceptable, and gets it done.
Yeah, we have Dean Dutton and Paul O'Leary.
Okay.
and they're reapplying
Yes,
and they are board members previously.
yes, for Valley Fire.
And they're doing good.
Yeah, they do a good job. I know both of them. They do a good job. Can I have a motion on that?
Yes,
Please.
I make a motion that we reappoint the 2 board members. Are they from Powell County or are they
Yes.
from,
Powell County.
Yeah.
They both live in Powell County.
or the Valley Fire District Board?
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I second it.
Any comments? No comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Thank you, everybody.
Is there a third member, another member that's in PAL? I think what they said is potentially do, but there wasn't anyone that put in for Granite County, so that's acceptable.
No, the other three are all in Paul.
Oh, okay, all right. No,
That's what I,
yeah, it's
yeah.
all even.
So the next thing we have is a
We're gonna go off till 10:30, then we have Jeremiah phase on, but we're gonna shut it off till 10:30. Thank you. Thanks.
He's not afraid of it.
It's Jeremiah phase with Great West Engineering to discuss the Flint Creek Dam Part 12D corrective plan and schedule. Morning, Jeremiah.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, you?
Good. So,
What page did you say?
I think it's on page 7 is where the recommendations are at.
yeah, so as part of, here's our summary report. As part of the corrective plan, or as part of the Part 12D inspection, they have some analysis. Do you need any more copies? Recommendations for things that you need to implement on the dam. Basically, it's kind of a summary of their findings. And you have, as the dam owner operator, you have 60 days to put together a corrective plan and a schedule for the findings that were identified in the Part 12D inspection. So we went through and basically put this together for you. We did the last time in 2016 as well. I guess the good thing is there's a lot less items than we had in 2016. A lot of things have been taken care of, but as we talked about last year, I mean, there's always things that come up with the dam. And so there's a few things in here. So I'll just go through kind of what was found. Most of it is just documentation as we go through here. So there's it's called the supporting technical information document, STID. So that's basically all of your reports, all of the findings, all the design as built, everything that's been done on the dam is part of this overall document. And it's kind of a living document that you continue to add to and update. Most of these recommendations are just to the STID. So you're replacing sections or adding to sections, things like that.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, sir.
Do you think we should call the dam tender so he's listening in on this? Being that we got him, he's gonna be.
You want him to listen in?
I was just, or is this something that he needs to know? I'm just, because I see where it said inspection of the concrete, in case we have to have him go up there with somebody and that he has an idea what's going on, or is that, am I making?
I don't know that he needs to be part of this discussion. He will need to be part of it if we actually enact something there. Yeah, no, you're fine. So table 1, there's just, you guys did the probable maximum flood evaluation, or Dow completed that. So we have to update the STID to include that. Assuming we get comments or feedback from FERC, we don't know exactly. I guess we did get some comments, but when they accept that, we need to update the STID. We put a June 30th date. It'll happen when we get comments. And all that is just a replacement of the section, not much there. Table 2, the potential failure mode assessment report. So there's actually a report that goes along with that failure mode analysis we completed this last year with the inspection. There's revisions to some of the categories in there, and there was an addition of 5 potential failure modes as part of that exercise we had completed. So those need to be updated in the report, and then that needs to be updated in the STID. Not much there. There is two of those potential failure modes that were identified that will come up here in another table. But as far as what's in table 2, it's just either changing from one category to another or adding into the report. Now the categories, items 3, 4, 5 on there are category 2 is something of concern of the dam, and category 4 is it's not an issue. So we're moving actually 3 of those potential failure modes from 2 to 4. So they're basically, you have to keep them on the books, but they're not an issue related to the dam, which I guess is good. They've been addressed or identified and taken care of. Table 3, the surveillance and monitoring plan. This is that DSSMR we call it, that we update yearly for the county. You have to submit it by April 1st every year. There was some comments in the Part 12D that we need to update in this new DSSMR. We have to discuss the process we're doing now with the piezometers. We went to semi-annual survey inspection of those control points for movement of the dam. The readings of the piezometer, if we get to a certain elevation of the dam. So those are some minor items that as part of the DSSMR, we'll just update and take care of as well. Interesting to note, we have submitted the DSSMR since 2019, and we still have not gotten any comments back. So the assumption is we're doing the job right, but
that's one of the things the commission is, jumped them for.
They pressure us into doing it,
you have
whether we
60
have
days
money
for
or
this.
nothing, and then they don't even look at the damn.
Yeah.
Non-equal playing field.
It pisses you off. The way they.
That's government at work.
Yeah,
Government at work.
someday they'll come back with comment, and hopefully we don't have to update every year of those, and hopefully they just accept them as they are. But
Well, it should be back on them if they can't have time to get back to us. It hell.
it should, but
I know it ain't the right way. I know how I feel.
I know.
Tired of them. The regulations.
Hey,
Okay,
Scott, hey, Scott, you're really hard to hear.
Okay, I'm back. There. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, the field inspection section, I guess, and what I have highlighted yellow, this is the biggest area of concern that came out of the inspection report. So on the new control gates for the penstock, there is seepage between the floor of the concrete and the wall, and they're concerned about deterioration progressing along that concrete joint because we've got some seepage between there. So we've got some water moving around the vault or out of the vault or something, but there's water moving there. They're worried about freeze thaw, chipping of that concrete, separation of the wall with the floor.
Can a guy use that silicone stuff that we used on that other to try to stop that? If it was seeping in there?
Maybe.
Seep it out?
So the first thing is they requested an implementation plan there. And so our thought was further inspection of the concrete makeup, and then we make a recommendation plan to FERC on what needs to be done. If we can just seal it, if we need to actually excavate behind there and maybe put a tile drain, and take that outletting into the spillway.
Okay, right now, there's no problem, but there could be. Is that what you're saying?
That's what,
Okay.
yep.
I think
So-
they're just notifying us in case something,
Yeah.
they're just covering all their facts. If there's something, they got us notified.
There's no,
Right?
there's no imminent failure. It's a category 2 potential failure mode. You need to address, but we may take a look at it and say, okay, we're going to monitor this over a period of a few years, or, it's not that big of a deal yet, but they want to make you aware of it. So that's item 17 on table 4. We do need to come up with a schedule and plan for responding because you're going to need to address that. That's kind of what this is. So we'll talk schedule in a sec. Item 18 is you have 2 drains that come out in between this concrete spillway and that concrete ramp of those. There's 2 drains there. We did some inspection of those, but the one we could not determine where it comes from. We know it's linked to the piezometers because we put water in the piezometers and it actually seeped out of that one. There was muddy water. What they would like to do, and this was actually a comment from FERC in the inspection, their yearly inspection, is put a sediment trap on that outlet. And so it's something that the dam tender periodically would go check. And if you're collecting sediment, we know we're moving through and we may need to do further action. But if it's just a continuous discharge, we've got water moving through there, it's not collecting sediment, it's not a concern, but it's just another item for the dam inspector to check to make sure we don't have issues there. So that it's basically just a connection onto the dam. It runs through, they collect sediment. It's something that we need to identify to FERC that you are going to do it, or you have a plan to do it, and then when you want to schedule it. So we'll come back, talk schedules in a second. The last table 5, that's the actual STID document. It's kind of a regurgitation of what needs to be updated. The only thing, yeah, I know, right? All these other sections, it's just a compilation, I guess, of all the updates we need to do that has occurred since 2016 to the STID. Yeah. The only thing I highlighted is the PGA, which is the earthquake analysis. We've been kicking the can down the road. The last time we tried to get 2 years, and it needs to be done by December 31st, 2022. That's the date they set.
The bill always comes due.
Eventually. So it needs to be done in 2022. Last year we got a cost from HDR and it was like 65,000.
Yeah, like 68, I thought. It
Yeah.
was pretty weak.
It was really expensive. Yeah.
That's the whole year of wages.
Yeah.
90%.
So I'd like to revisit that. We went out to RFP. We got no response from any of the firms. So then we contacted HDR directly because they're qualified to do it. And they give us that high cost. I would like to reach out to a couple other firms and see if we can't generate some interest again. I don't know if, Blaine, do we need to go through an RFP since it was?
No one put in. We're in my opinion, we're in emergency mode. So
Okay.
it needs to be done.
So we'll, I guess, restart that discussions with trying to find some firms to even do that and see if we can get a better price than that. We do have that price. I don't know if HDR would even honor it at this point, but it's expensive because going back when we requested Dowell to do this, they had a sub Tetra Tech and their cost was like 35,000. And I think that was 2 years ago, 18 or 19 or something. So yes, at that time we thought it was expensive for what needed to be done. But
I guess the thing that makes me wonder about all this is like Willow Creek Reservoir, East Fork, all of those dams without generating power, how well maintained they are. And what all
Willow
goes on
Creek,
with
they're
those.
doing some work on here. They're getting some
They
grants.
get
We
that.
have the
But
state.
they're not having
they
their
don't have
feet
the
held
same
to the fire.
No, the thing
Like
about
they
it,
are
it's
by
state
FERC.
regulated, it's not.
Right.
So they don't have to go through it. They try, yeah, it's state way.
Just a thought.
Most of this come back from when the dam broke in Colville, see, and then they're
Right.
covering, so now we're
Right.
paying for all their mistakes.
Right.
Just to identify to the public
That
that
wasn't good.
Sheriff Dumperson is sitting in with this and making a comment when
When I shouldn't.
he should.
Jackie, do you have something? I know. Did you have something, Jackie?
I'm just wondering, did Jeremiah hear back from FERC on those potential dates of May 7th and 14th?
No, I have not heard anything.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
From, you submit something to FERC?
Verbal exercise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, doing that functional
Yeah,
exercise. Yeah, because we hosted that December 15th, we hosted the tabletop, and then Jackie proposed a couple of dates so we could get it on their
Okay,
calendar.
just waiting back here.
We haven't heard back.
We have that 90 days for our special letter.
Well, puts us in the bind there. We gotta get things
Those are the
moving.
dates that probably work best.
Yeah.
So that is kind of the findings. It's good. We had, I think, a 10 or 12 page plan, corrected plan and summary in 2016. You guys have done a good job of taking care of the items. Going back to the concrete joint repair, the DNRC has the Renewable Resource Grant Loan Program. They have planning grant calls right now. You guys have actually used those planning grants and construction grants to make some of those improvements. We did the gabions and the valves 4 years ago with those funds, and then they helped with the spillway concrete as well. So my thought, you guys, we could apply for up to 15,000 in planning money to basically come up, we can do the inspection and come up with a plan to recommend to you guys to move forward with that. And then that plan would then be submitted to FERC, and I don't see us having to do any construction anytime soon. Maybe, Scott, we can do just some minor patching or something to buy some time, and then we'll just monitor it periodically with these 5-year inspections. Worst case, FERC may come back and say we need to capture the drainage, but I still don't think excavating behind the wall and putting in a drain tile or something is a major deal. It's just costly. But I guess we likely could get some planning funds to address this.
Do we need a motion like that to go ahead and have it go for them?
Not yet, because there's actually a signature page on that planning application. They're due to the DNRC by February 18th. So prior to that, we could get it on the agenda, and then you guys can make a motion.
Maybe get it on to the next week or something so we get it done, get it going.
Yep. Yeah, we can do that.
So this would be getting a motion for Great West to do that grant,
To prepare and submit
Yes,
a DNRC RRGL planning grant. Yep. And at the same time, we can make some recommendations for the discharge catch.
Okay.
And that's something that I think county crews could install.
Yeah,
You know.
if we can, because we're gonna have to try to do as much as we can on our own anymore.
Yep.
You see there's some potential grant money coming down the line for the infrastructure bill, dam safety?
Yeah.
That was like 67 million or something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
there
There's.
could be more info coming down the line on that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decode that, but any information you have would be helpful.
We just got the final ruling on the Arpa funds.
Yeah.
And so, and that was passed almost a year ago. So the language of the infrastructure bill, I think, will be worked out. And what we're hearing is funding is probably not going to be allocated until third quarter of 22 because they're still under continuing resolution. So there's not money.
I guess main thing, we just want to kind of keep an eye on that so we don't miss out, whatever we get to help.
Yep.
The county may have ARPA remaining after we do the elevator project. Are they now saying that you can use that for dams, or are they?
Nope. Only if it's for a water source. Yeah.
I thought
So
potentially I saw something where they changed that, and then
they were fighting for it, and so the final ruling that just came out, it's like page 268 to 200. Yeah. I read it multiple times. They determined that.
Man, you must have insomnia.
I know. Yes. You have to read those things about 20 times to even understand what they have. they determine that dams that are only for water generation or a water supply, municipal water supply, are eligible for funding. So since that one has irrigation purposes, but we're not actually supplying water to a municipality for water, it wouldn't be eligible. Yep.
I've been trying to read through some of the FEMA grant opportunities. Do you know much about that and if our dam qualifies for any?
The one that was just, it's actually due January 28th. It's called the BRIC program, Building Resilient Infrastructure in Communities. The dam would be eligible, but I don't think it would not compete. Yeah. Butte Silverbow tried to apply last year for Basin Creek, which is their water supply. They have some issues there, and it didn't even rank in the funding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They actually, all of Region 8, FEMA Region 8, which is like from Denver all the northwest, they didn't even get a construction project there. All the funding went to flood walls and things like that on coastal regions. So I don't think so. There is HMGP grant that's the state gets a little bit of funds based on disaster declaration.
Didn't we get that once?
You guys did for, what did we use it for?
I thought it was it the
Bridges.
bridges, yeah. I remember when you just said that, I remember we got that.
Oh, no, you did for Travelers Home.
Oh, yeah.
That culvert.
Culvert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you used
I
the
love
hazard
that.
mitigation grant. Oops.
Jump through.
Yeah, Marine,
Yeah.
Marine kind of set that up. when you bought it. Yeah, we got that there.
Yep. Yeah, they
I thought that when you said that, I remembered that.
yeah, they helped pay for those. So I don't know that it would be. The state's going to get a little bit of money they'll have available in March. We'll see. I just don't know that there's much.
Just kind of play it by ear.
But I think for everything else, if we can get a plan and grant, we'll address this, and then infrastructure, whatever that needs to be done there. I think maybe the infrastructure bill could probably help in 23 or 24 or something there. Other than that, there's not there's the PGA, but that's a study. I don't think that that's going to lead to anything. I think it's going to go into the STID and just be filed. I hope nothing comes out of it because it's going to be expensive to address. I don't even know what it would be. I mean, stability of the dam at that point based on new earthquake findings, and we don't even want to
I don't know how they
discuss
expected
that.
that when you don't even know how big an earthquake is.
Well, that's part of the analysis is like based on your susceptibility to the size of the earthquake. So they say, okay, you're about 3 times magnification and you could see this. And so then is the dam stable for this type of earthquake? That's kind of it's a probability analysis basically.
Wonder what budget you have left for current fiscal year.
Or the-
That seismic deal could be done in like two fiscal years.
In the Flint Creek project?
Yeah.
I don't know what we have.
But we can look, I can,
Just a thought, I mean, they can split it
yeah,
up
we
in
can
two
look that
fiscal
up
years,
and
but
just to see, I think there's probably
Hope
plenty.
they find somebody different.
We haven't really extended.
Yeah.
That's just crazy, take 70, because we're gonna make 100, so 90% of what we're making.
Didn't Dow do it?
They don't have the qualifications.
and-
So they reached out to them to do it and they actually just contacted another firm, Tetra Tech.
That's the problem, they
They
know
were
that
just
they
gonna
kind of
do
got you bent over, and so, it's not good.
No.
It's down money deals. Crazy.
So I don't think anything will come out of that though. And it likely will be billed after June 30th. I mean, I would imagine that by the time somebody starts
for the
next fiscal year, you're in pretty good shape for major infrastructure things. Yeah, there wasn't a lot that actually came out of this.
I don't think we have any, fair ask for public comment. Is there any public comment? I get looking at the wrong stuff.
Elena.
Go ahead, Elena. just on the Flint Creek.
You don't have to keep reminding me, okay?
Hey, hey, come on.
Come on. I'm just wondering, is this report, why is it, excuse me. I was wondering if this report and plan is online as part of the documents for today.
So I didn't put the part 12 online. I went to, but on it, it said not to share it. So I didn't because it said contains critical energy infrastructure information, do not release. So I questioned myself and figured I would ask you guys before I put
It's
it
been brought
online.
up already, but.
Jeremiah did discuss it, didn't he?
But I didn't know if I could put the full first part 12D on the website, but then Jeremiah's report he gave us right now, I can upload that.
Yeah, I'm just presenting this now. You guys you can upload
Yeah, I
it,
can upload
you can review it, and then I think that next week's meeting, you can make a decision, and then we'll need to e-file it to FERC.
Okay.
But I just wanted to present it, and then we'll take comment.
Can I share the first part 12D in such online or no?
When we e-file these, it's not e-filed publicly, so nobody can log in and review it. There is context-sensitive information in there related to dam safety. So I would say, no, I would say the plan is fine because it's just, it's your plan for implementation, but there's enough in here related to safety items that I don't know that I would have it available.
Well,
And it says it right on there. It's critical energy.
That's what she just showed me. So
Yeah.
Under both recommendations, you did the right thing, Billy. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that was good.
So just as clarification, the plan is going to be uploaded and that's going to be on the agenda for next week. And we don't know yet the time or anything.
No, we're just talking about right now. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to talk about putting it on the agenda when and time. Thank you.
Finish talking about it. Thank you.
So that is all I had for your part 12D. I'm glad there wasn't a whole lot more because we were worried about that.
Good job. Thank you.
I guess this will be available next week. I will have, I'll make any changes that come up that are requested, and then we'll actually have your letter of transmittal. So then I can, if you approve it, we'll e-file it to FERC. And then I will coordinate with you on a time for that and the submittal of or approval of the RGL application to the NRC.
Thanks. Yeah, we'll have that, before Thursday, so we can put on it.
Yep.
And we'll know, then you'll know the time. Thank you.
And that that'll get you hopefully some planning money. We'll address that concrete so we don't have any cost there, and should be good at this point.
Alrighty. Did you want to listen here? If we got two
I wanted to.
minutes on this Flint Creek hydro stuff.
Yeah, I was just gonna hang out.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Judge McLean called me and said that he thinks that had given him a couple weeks for Roger to think about it, and then they'd get back to us with the
So
written agreement.
Table it for a couple weeks.
They're looking at potentially offering explain the.
Well, I understood what they're potentially offering, but is there a reason why we can't have it on for each week due to the fact that there might be something new come up that we can talk about?
I asked him that, because that's what my thought was too, and yeah, he said that's fine, and if you don't have anything in writing from him, table it. But potentially they would be looking at 15% royalties for 22 years, and then it'd be go up to the 20 after. The issue, I don't know, it's coming to some middle ground. That's originally what the county was talking to about. Stuff like that.
Well, that's why I was thinking, have it on for every week, just in case something come up that we heard something here or there that, at least then we can talk about it, even if it's on for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, at least it's on the agenda, we can.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
All right, Bill.
Yeah, and I sent you guys, that's why I asked Jeremiah about that FEMA funding, because Ben Singer had sent over all that text about funding available from FEMA that the county should be using.
Should be, but yeah, it's not much out there that's really available.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have done a good job with the RRG. We've gotten 250,000 construction funds plus planning monies to address some things. And we've gotten most of the major infrastructure complete with it. It just costed quite a bit to get to this
We
point.
didn't have no choice. I mean, we were put behind the wall. I mean, to fix it, or then they're gonna put us, yeah.
It was
I mean, we
required.
took it as a fix it.
Yeah, they were safety items.
And I mean, whether, how we fixed that was our call. Only way it was approved. That's what I teach. Now we just need to move ahead with the work, everything's done. We just need to look into the future and try to make this work, quit going backwards.
Yep.
That's the way I feel.
And Burke seems to be willing to give you more time, but it's still required. You can't just, doesn't go on forever.
Well, then, with the way the economy and everything, it's, if you keep waiting and it goes up, the people ain't gonna sit there and quote a price to fix something, then 2 years later, they're not gonna stick to that
No,
price. I would.
especially now.
Shit's gone just crazy, and then you can't get nothing.
No.
So, I mean, say we did wait, and then what the hell if we couldn't have got them pigs and that stuff? I mean, then we'd be in,
We just, so just to give you an idea, we're designing similar valves. 6 months for manufacturing for another project. So, I mean, yeah, you saved quite a bit of money doing it when you did, and time.
Okay, is there any comments on this, on the negotiations with Flint Creek? Public comments? Well, other than that, I guess we'll just move ahead, and then next week, we go through this other, then we can, accept it and move on, and so, we'll just watch for the money coming and going, and see what we can do to help, and I guess with Jackie and Billy and you guys, you can kind of keep an eye on everything.
Yep.
Is that all right?
Yeah, we still gotta do that functional exercise, and I will have to do the DSSMR, but I wanted to get this.
Appreciate all the work. You guys have done a good job, so.
Might actually at least take your state.
The less time I'm over here, the better, right? It means that things are getting better.
Yeah, and for a while.
I know, it's way too much.
That's my file.
We're gonna go off the air now, since there's no comments.